Hi everyone, it is Becky from Northern Star Guidance and welcome to the weekly energy reading. This is for Monday the 22nd of... Are we in March still? Yes, we're in March. I do apologise that I am a day late posting this. God, I feel like we're in Mercury retrograde or something. I know we're not, but I have had nothing but technical difficulties and energy difficulties for the last few days. But like the day I got my new setup all done, hope you're liking it, my camera arm broke, so I had to wait for one off Amazon, so I had to wait a day or two. So I've got that all set up, and now my phone has done an update, and suddenly half my apps are not working, and I've got to like uninstall and reinstall everything. So it's just caused an awful lot of delay, so I do apologise. Right, I'm going to use these cards as well for our markers. So we have got Earth. And Earth is our stability. It's the things we can see and touch and feel. That includes the people in our lives, our homes, our finances, everything like that, everything that is earthbound. Air is our communication, our thoughts, our ideas, our intellect, our fears and doubts as well. And we have got fire, and we are currently in the fire sign of Aries. Fire is our desires, our passions, our drive, stuff like that. And water, which is our senses, our emotions, our psychic ability and stuff like that. So we're literally going from earth to heaven, or heaven to earth, as is the tarot deck that I will be using for it. I'm also going to get a message from, I'm going to get the frequency from Spirit, which to me is our other element as well. It's the sort of the energy frequency that ties everything in together. Keep seeing forgiveness in this deck. That was quick. And we've got the heart chakra. I'm going to get another one. I don't like it when a chakra comes up. Alchemy, there we go. So, frequency of the heart chakra. The green flower of life supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. And then we've got alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. And this feels very, very Sagittarius energy, very temperance of transmuting energy. It is something I feel Aries season particularly is very powerful for, is manifestation, our ability to bring our dreams into reality, to start working on creating the things that we want to. Aries is very creative energy. Sorry, I seem to be losing my words today. So let's see what we have. I feel like I need to go away and take a breath. There we go. Okay. Earth. Messages coming from Earth, and we have the Queen of Swords. Chariot in air. Fire is Temperance. That is pretty much the energy that we've got going on here with all that balance and alchemy. And water. Ace of Pentacles. More Sagittarius energy there. Is the Eight of Wands underneath as well, which says swiftness. So, looks like things are finally starting to get moving. I don't know about anyone else, but like the first week of Aries has just been so weird. Like the energy has just been weird for me. And I'm noticing it around me as well. Like people have been much more argumentative, and not even in a wanting to start arguments way, but just saying things without much thought into the reaction of the other person. And I can hold my hand up for that as well. It's something that I've done over the last few days. Just little snappy comments that I've not even put thought or feeling into. It just comes out. So yeah, since we've kind of hit Aries, I've been feeling that. I've been feeling that sort of that wonderful feature that we have, which is just diving into things without actually thinking too much about it. So, how is Earth reacting to Aries at the moment? So we've got the Queen of Swords. And here, this feels like that think before you act that I've just been talking about. Queen of Swords puts a lot... Oh my word, I've just noticed she's holding a severed head in her hand there. That's pretty brutal. And that's very much what it's feeling like as well. I've just noticed that it's got Libra energy coming in with this as well. Something, if you want to watch the little Aries video that I've got, which is just about Aries energy and how we can all use that. And something that keeps coming up a lot lately is balance. Something, I'm just feeling very strongly that link between Aries and Libra, because they are on opposite ends of the axis. We are also coming up to the Libra full moon. So I feel like there's a call to use that balance, to bring our thoughts, our feelings and everything else into balance and not go chopping people's heads off so suddenly. The Chariot in air. This is the thing when we're in balance, when we're in a place where head and heart are working in unison, when our positives and negatives, our masculine and our feminine energy is working in unison and complementing each other, then we can move forward. We can achieve the victory of the Chariot. And then Temperance coming in with fire. Like I said, this is hitting on that alchemy here. I feel like this week is all about blending those energies, bringing into balance our emotions, our all of it really, bringing into balance our thoughts, our feelings, our passions, and create magic from that. Something that came up, I did a reading for this, like I said, technical failures. Yesterday I was absolutely shattered and I got an amazing message out, and the key theme of that was energy just being everywhere and kind of bringing it into one focused energy, kind of like a blowtorch. And that was something that I likened it to, that was like, if we don't blend the energy, if we don't direct it in a specific place, then it can become like a wildfire that just burns everything down and it's not controlled. Whereas when we put fire into that focus, I keep doing this triangle point, and that's what it feels like. It's like having a laser. It's channeling all that energy into one goal, into one direction. And then you've got like a laser, you've got that focus. And when you focus Aries energy on something, you can accomplish amazing things. The fact that we've got the Ace of Pentacles coming up there says that. As you know, aces are all about new beginnings. And I always say this with the aces because you don't really start moving with the aces. It's the prospect of it. So this is the prospect of prosperity. This is the seed we plant. And if we've focused our energy correctly, if we've channeled that fire energy, and we know exactly where we're putting it into, that is going to be the seed that you grow. I'm thinking about genetics, like, you know, the whole sperm and egg sort of thing, because this is also, for me, the card of pregnancy. It's the seed that is planted. But I'm just thinking about all of those sperm that get released, but only one makes it through. And that one has got 50% of the information that is going to make up that person that is born from that. And that is all predetermined. It is pre-coded. All the plans are there. The next stage is building it. And that's what this feels like. This is putting that energy into a direct focus so that you can build from that plan. So even though we're in Aries energy, I'm feeling that need for us to start planning, continue planning, start thinking about what you want to focus on for this season. Because, I mean, it's such flipped energy I'm feeling. It's very flipped energy. It's like we're in Aries, which is the go. Let's just go for it. But it's not. I'm feeling the presence of Libra and that need for balance more than anything. I'm feeling a lot of earth energy coming up. A lot of needs to be practical and realistic and focused on what it is we want to achieve, so that we don't end up with that wildfire or we don't burn out. But just, I keep thinking of it like a little blowtorch that I've seen them use on MasterChef. I don't know if you have, they're really cool. I want one, I think, just to play with it. But I always see them like searing the skin on fish or something with it. And it's like this little mini blowtorch. But just imagine what you can accomplish with fire energy when it is directed into something like that. A tool that is focused. You end up with so much more power behind it. And this is Aries season. It is all about our own power, stepping into our own power. Right, let's see. I get some clarifiers up. I have some changes coming up. I did do a video about it last night, but I think I'm going to re-record that as well. Let's just assume that all work I did last night did not go so well. It just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. But I am going to be doing the monthlies, recording the monthly readings over this week. I have a completely new tarot spread that I'm using. So I'm looking at our energies, the energy that we're putting out towards other people, what's holding us back, obstacles in our way, and strengths. So I can hopefully get a more detailed and personal reading for you guys from that. I am looking at other, not looking, sorry. I have also set up a channel on OnlyFans, and I'm going to start posting videos to that, and I will direct you to that. I really hope that you will check it out. You can, there will be free content on there, but there'll also be an option for subscription-based services, which is something that I really, really want to do. But I will do a little video about it all because there's too much to say here. So let's see, Queen of Swords. Where's the Queen of Swords there? There we go, Three of Wands. And Three of Wands is the return, isn't it? It's the return from the energy that we've put out. It's like, well, we've chose this direction, we've gone in this way. Now what do I get back from that? And this is where I'm going back to that, the energy that's coming up, the Queen of Swords there, of just being aware of how we're wielding our words right now. I mean, the Two of Wands, in the Two of Wands, you're picking a direction, you're choosing a direction, you're choosing whether to stay put, stay where you go, or where you know where your safety zone is, or to venture out. When we get to the Three of Wands, this is when you've already ventured out. You've already jumped out on a limb. You've already put those thoughts, those feelings, those ideas forward. And this is now waiting for the response from that. I don't know if some of you are waiting to hear about something, whether this is waiting to hear about a house or a job. But that's something that's kind of coming through there with that, is putting that communication out, taking that bold step. The Queen of Swords is very bold. Oh God, was it this one or the other? No, it was the other reading, sorry. And I said I felt like the Hangman, there was Hangman energy there. And there he is on the bottom. But yeah, I feel like this, for some of you, this could be waiting to hear about something. So I'm getting that sense of something has been communicated or applied for. Something has been spoken, and now it's waiting for the return from that, waiting for the reply from that. So for you guys, this is going to be the week to hear about that. 10 of Wands, what's with the burden? Oh. I'll get another one for that, actually. Because you can't carry all those wands in the chariot. No. And what are those 10 wands in air? These are thoughts. This to me feels like overthinking. What are you overthinking? Something else that come up in the failed reading. I'm just going to call it the failed reading because it's quite lean. It's never going to see the light of day. But something that came up in that as well was narrowing down. Oh my God, this is the wildfire, isn't it? This is the wildfire. This is where there's too many ideas. There's too much of that fire energy and not having a direction for it. And that's what the charity asks. That's why you're not giving me another card, are you? No. It's not giving me another one because I've got it now. So I was talking about the wildfire. With the 10 wands, I mean, if one's is our passions, our desires, and our actions that we take, this is too many actions, this is too many things, too many thoughts and ideas, given that it is coming up in air. And the Chariot says, well, you know, it feels a bit like being a delivery driver and you've got all these stops to make. And the Chariot's asking you to just take one thing at a time, one step at a time. Because you can't accomplish all that in one day. It's feeling very Rome wasn't built in a day. So just focusing on one destination at a time. Have you ever had to make a few stops? So you get your sat nav up. You don't put all the addresses in at once, do you? You put one address in and then you get there, you deliver, or you pick up whatever it is you're doing, and then you put the next one in. Because if you put all 10 destinations in, you're probably going to get a bit confused at some point. And this is what it feels like, that sort of energy of just having too many things to focus on. So what is priority number one for you? What's your ace? And that's coming up in water. So I do feel like this is heart-based. The heart always knows. The heart is the one that always has the answer. I think I did this with last week's reading where I read them out of order, because we start with the heart and then the head questions what the heart wants. And then when you get them two in alignment, like here, the yin and the yang energy, when you get the two in alignment, masculine and feminine, blending, the temperance, then you can take action on it. And by taking action, you bring it into existence, into life. So that's, to me, this is how that works. And I'm sort of reading it backwards here, because this is waiting for the return on that. But what return if you've got all these ones here in your head? But I also notice as well is when you've got so much to focus on like that, you end up not achieving anything, because you're just walking around carrying it. You've got no arms left, no focus left to put it in order, to put it in priority. And I feel like that's what is being asked here, is to prioritize and just go for one thing at a time, one ace at a time. So let's get something up for temperance. Sorry, I was just reading through alchemy again. It's such a big thing. I love how quickly that's come out as well. 10 of Swords. This come out in the failed reading, but it was in Earth and over here. This is being done with something. This is something that just... See, that's the thing. Are you giving your energy and your fire to something that is dead? Are you trying to water a plant that has just got no life in it anymore? Because that's what this feels like. I'm feeling very much a need for practical assessment of things. I've got the expression flogging a dead horse coming up here, of just, it's trying to keep something alive that's just not there anymore, that doesn't fill you with passion. If it doesn't make you feel the fire and it's a burden, why would we still put our time and effort and energy into it? And this is where I feel temperance is coming in, where I know this is Sagittarius energy and it's in fire as well. I was talking about Aries being manifesting, but I'm very much feeling that constant presence of Libra, asking us to be grounded, to just have a check-in with yourself, have a check-in with what is accomplishable, what is real, what is here, what is now. That's what it feels like. You get another one for Temperance. She's clearly the lady of the hour. Sorry, I'm going to take that one. I kind of slid off the top. Just having a nosy what it was, which was the Four of Pentacles. I mean, oh, I was going to say maybe that is something in itself, the Four of Pentacles, of not wanting to let go of what we've got or lose stability. But the Fool says it's time for a new beginning. It's time to put that energy looking forward, not back. And Aries, I always find Aries, most Aries natives tend to always be focusing forward. It's like when they're done with something, it's usually done. I used to use that been there, done that, got the t-shirt statement a lot. Like exes, I've stayed friends with exes over the years, because in my eyes they were important to me, and I can detach the relationship from the friendship, because once I've been there and it's not worked, then I can understand that it didn't work and there were reasons that it didn't work, but that doesn't stop me valuing the person. I don't know why that's come up, and maybe that is relevant to someone here, because this is new starts, fresh beginnings. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, put it into the charity shop. That's what it feels like, of just, no, I'm done with that, I'm done with it. Bring everything back into balance, and then putting that energy into something new, or taking that leap. It's funny, I feel like this itself, fire, is its own little story right now. I mean, they are individually their own little stories. I do it all in one, just to avoid having like 5 hours worth of messages. I'd rather just do 4 or 5 little messages that all sort of come in together. Because yeah, we've got this return here, this communication. I'm waiting for a return. That could be linked with this. That could be messaging someone from the past. But it feels like water in a dead plant. That's the only way I can describe it. It feels like energy just going into something that's gone. You got 2 tens coming up here. 2 endings, 2 things that are done. Now it's time for a new start. Fresh beginning, fresh start to the zodiac calendar. So let's see what this ace is all about. Ace of Pentacles. Oh! And I was talking about the 2 of Wands earlier. It's funny, I was going on about earth energy. There was a lot of earth energy coming up in the Aries, like mini reading about Aries energy. And I'm very much feeling and seeing the ones coming through here, and the fire, the influence of fire, especially Sagittarius. I always feel like, I mean, I know there's 3 fire signs and we all share common ground, but I mean, I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart. In fact, when I sat down, I sort of tallied together I think my strongest element is air, and fire being my next element that I've got most placements in. Most of my fire elements are in Sagittarius. I think I've got Aries that pops up twice as my sun sign, and possibly Mercury or Mars. But the rest, I've got about 4 or 5 placements in Sagittarius. And I feel that connection. I feel how Aries and Sagittarius have similar traits. I can get distracted easily. I love new beginnings. I'm not very good at finishing projects that I've started. And it's very easy for me to just sort of get up and put my energy elsewhere if something is not working. And I feel like that's sort of coming through a lot with this reading. This is that focused energy. This is bringing focus to one goal, one project, one seed that you want to plant and you want to grow. It's funny because this is our emotions, our connection to the universe, to spirit, to our intuition and our psychic abilities. It's almost like the heart already knows where it wants to go, and the heart already knows what seed is there that wants to be planted. It's just all the others kind of falling into place with that. I always feel like the heart speaks more directly. Always. I think sometimes fear or codependency can mask what the heart is saying to us. It mimics the heart, and it took me a very long time to understand that and to figure out how to listen to my heart. Because sometimes fear would pop up in that space, telling me that I want to be with that person, even though I wasn't happy with that person, even though I was putting energy into something that wasn't going anywhere. I feel like the heart's clear on that. And when you listen to that first thing that comes up before your mind starts battling it, that is usually where your intuition is coming in, where your thoughts, your feelings, your gut instincts. That is usually the correct response. I say correct like there's a not correct, but all paths lead to the end eventually, don't they? Wow, I feel like I've took that on a bit of a turn. Right, let's see. I am going to get what are these? Sacred Spirit card. It is feeling like that sort of season. All about self, all about figuring out who we are so that we can build. Can you say week ahead, the week that we are in, please, regarding the spread? There we go. Illuminate the shadow, focus on a solution. Focus has been the key word here. The failed reading, the word focus came up in about four or five different cards. So I used each of the activation cards, which I haven't done this time round, and it seems to have flowed a lot better. So, but focus was a very big thing, and I keep talking about that blowtorch, and that's what it feels like right now. Simplify the issue, focus on a solution, and the affirmation is, I effortlessly create peaceful solutions with my personality. I effortlessly create peaceful solutions. Sorry, I'm going to get this out without stammering 1 minute. I effortlessly, I think it's that word, I just can't say it. I effortlessly create peaceful solutions with my personality. When we understand our shadow, we can fully appreciate the light. We must have both aspects. That is the chariot there. We must have both aspects within our spirit to have a meaningful life. Without darkness, how can one fully appreciate the beauty and simplicity of life in all its forms? Once we remove fear and personal doubt, it makes room for love, confidence, and motivation. And if I had to pick 3 words right now for Aries season, it would be love, confidence, and motivation. Reclaiming your personal power, and that's another one, is power. Our shadow self highlights the need to place ourselves first. When we are stuck within our shadow side, we are unable to see the light of day. We become clouded and foggy with confusion, often forgetting gratitude and compassion through our own selfish moments. Illuminating the shadow is to fully understand our personality and subsequently understand the shadow in others, enabling us to be more considerate of another person's hardship. I'm feeling that with that Queen of Swords there. And developing empathy with and compassion for other people. Right now, you are encouraged to illuminate the sections of your personality that are working against your situation. Accept that these challenging aspects are a part of you. Embrace them, love them, and plan how to achieve a form of balance. Special word of the day. I've lost where I am now. Plan how to achieve a form of balance and make this part of your psyche ultimately work for you. Now is the time to focus on a resolution instead of just on the problem or challenge. How did you get here? Acknowledge your current circumstances and focus on how you can achieve a positive outcome. Now is the time to get your personality in line with conscious thought. Apply these balanced characteristics to areas of your life that could utilize these energies, such as leadership, communication, relationships, employment, and self-talk with your spirit. Once you grow your understanding of your unique personality, you can begin to realign your life to nurture and support your goals and personal interests. So let's see, angel assistance is Archangel Barachiel. Problem solving, finding solutions, and the shadow aspects are narrow-mindedness, ego-driven, and cynicism. Now, Aries is quite an ego-based personality and energy. And I always feel like ego gets a bit of a bad rep. There is no problem with having an ego. We all have an ego. The minute you say, I am, you are speaking about your ego. So, it's when the ego is out of control like that, when the ego is running the show, and the ego thinks that that is the most important aspect. Because the ego tends to not listen, the ego tends to talk. And it's okay to express. It's good for us to express and understand ourselves. It's just also good to be open to listening to other people too. So if that's something that resonates as well, because this can be a little bit vengeful as well, this energy that I'm feeling over here. If we're going out and cutting people's heads off. But here I feel like it's needing to put our energy into something more positive, into something that we can grow, and something that we feel in the heart. Dropping all these other tasks that are just taking fire away from where it needs to be. Right, hope that's helped. Please give me a shout in the comments, and I hope I will see you over on OnlyFans. Bye for now.